Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy Saturday to you.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. We are started a new segment. This is the first time we've done this.
Oh, I'm the inaugural version.
You're the inaugural version.
Or guinea pig.
Yes, guinea pig. It's called Saturday Stories, and what I want to do is talk to people who have persevered. All of those things, survived, battled to get to where they are, in hopes to change the conversation. We're in a gotcha kind of social media world where we want to catch who's on whose side, fight with everyone. We're using social media maybe to be a bit more aggravated with each other instead of listening to each other.
Yes.
And when you and I grew up, we were taught to listen to each other. And I want to try to change that a little bit.
That's a noble cause.
Well, thank you. This is Smitty. She is a colleague at the Vancouver Institute of Media Arts. How are you?
I'm perfect.
You're perfect.
I'm fantastic.
Yeah.
As a cab driver in New York once said to me, have a nice day, unless you have other plans.
Okay. Do we have other plans?
No, I am going to have a good day.
We're going to have a good day. So maybe just tell us a little bit about who you are, for those who don't know. We've done a podcast together before. We ranted about Trump.
Should I start at the beginning or start at the end?
Let's start maybe beginning-ish, middle-ish.
Okay.
Where you feel we would get the most out of it.
Okay, so I had a very normal, wonderful childhood. My dad was in the U.S. Navy. My mother was a nurse. It was all normal until I was about 12. My folks got divorced, and that was a little odd, but I moved around a lot, obviously because my dad was in the Navy, but then I moved around a lot because my dad was just moved around a lot, and I lived with my dad. Anyway, I went to university, and I studied theater direction, and I got my bachelor's degree from the University of Denver in theater direction, and I got a minor in art history. Now I'm going to go back a couple of steps. Before that, I started singing professionally when I was 16.
Oh, wow.
So when I say 16, I mean playing the guitar and singing James Taylor songs in bars and kind of talking my way in. Even though I wasn't old enough to be in the bar, I still wanted to sing, and I did it. So I did that through university and everything, and then I started an entertainment production company, and I traveled all over the world as a singer. I ended up specializing in jazz music in the 1930s and 40s, big band music, cool jazz. And so I traveled all over the world. I performed in concert halls and clubs and some cruise ships. And it was 14-piece big bands. I had a sextet, I had a quartet, and made a very good go of it. I mean, it was a really very successful career, a very carved out niche, really good, nice followers, but I traveled all the time. I mean, there was like a year when I was at home for 4 days out of the whole year, you know. So my husband was my musical director and arranger for all my big band stuff. And when that came to an end, I also brought the music career to an end. It seemed like just a good idea to throw out the baby with the bathwater. Actually, I had been really, really, really tired of traveling, so I just stopped. And I ran away with a woman. And that was interesting. And we can come back to any of this that you want to, because I'll tell anybody anything. Anyway, we ran away to Nova Scotia. I lived in Phoenix at the time, and I lived for a year on my savings. What I didn't realize is that I had made a great living as a singer, but money goes away, and I never knew that because maybe I didn't think of money as I didn't think of it as working. I enjoyed myself so much, right? But all of a sudden, the numbers were going down. So I lived for a year on savings, just had a ball. But then there was no money. Anyway, that gets involved, but with my dear mother's help, I decided to go to grad school. Okay, I've been using that side of my brain. Let me use the other side of my brain. So I went to grad school and I got my graduate degree in librarianship, Masters of Information Library Studies, Library and Information Studies. Then we moved to Vancouver. It was the first time I had lived in a home that actually felt like a home. And I wanted to do three things. I wanted to have a motorcycle. I wanted to have a garden. I wanted to have a dog. All of the things I couldn't have because I traveled for a living. So when I got to Vancouver, I got a motorcycle. Or when I got to Halifax, did I say Vancouver? I messed up. Did I say Halifax?
You said Vancouver.
Oh, no, I moved to Halifax.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I messed up. You want me to go back?
Sure, it's your story.
Oh, okay, but you're not going to cut it or anything.
I'm not going to cut it.
Okay, so now the people that are listening just know how mixed up I am. Okay, I didn't move to Vancouver. I moved to Halifax and went to library school at Dalhousie. Anyway, I got a motorcycle, and I became a motorcycle instructor for the Nova Scotia Safety Council. I started growing a garden, and I got my beloved dog Benny. And it was wonderful, and I got my degree, and then we moved to Vancouver because my partner's family was in the Vancouver area. And I worked as a librarian for 11 years, and that was done. Just like the music career had been done, I was done. 11 years, I did amazing things. I loved it until the end, and then I was just done with it. And one day my partner, by the way, we've been together for 18 years now. Thank you. So my partner and I were sitting on our back patio, and she said, where's Smitty? I said, what do you mean, where's Smitty? I've lost you. I don't know where you went. I was getting depressed. I had this period about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. My father had died. My beloved dog Benny passed away. My mother died, and I was with her when she died. My knee gave out, and I had to have knee replacement surgery, and I just turned 50. So talk about midlife frickin' crisis.
Right.
Everything fell apart. So I was depressed. So my partner says, you're just not yourself. What would you do if you could do anything in the world? What would you do? And I said, I would really, really like to be on the radio. I've always thought of it since I was a kid. So as we do things, my partner and I are kind of spontaneous sorts. I looked around, I saw programs, I saw Van Arts, I called, I came down that day to look. I think I met you.
Yes.
Was that the day I met you? The day that I just walked in?
Chelsea, former classmate, and
Yeah.
I were here to do some recruiting, help out with just so everyone on the program, and you were here.
Right, because you interviewed me on the air.
Yes, I did. I interviewed June, former classmate as
Right.
well. And that was it, I think, of the two that I remember.
And I thought you were so cool. I thought you were so cool because your hat and stuff.
Oh.
It's just like,
Can you say that louder?
Great voice. I thought that Kevin was so cool. And that hat. And he's got a great voice. And it's very unique. And yeah. I like you.
Well, thank you.
I'm a fan.
Thank you.
So so I came to Van Arts. And I did it. And funny thing about school. While I was a librarian, by the way, I taught at the University of the Fraser Valley. I taught library technicians. And I've always said this about going to school of any sort, especially university, is you don't always need to, I mean, this is a training school. Van Arts is a particular job training school. But the great thing about school is you learn how to think.
Yeah.
More than what it is you're studying, you learn how to think and make your plans then. People go, I'm going to school, I don't know what I'm going to major in. It doesn't matter. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I came to Van Arts to be a radio star. I wangled myself into my own internship at Roundhouse Radio. And I did that for about 6 months. I loved it. Loved being on the air. I mean, I did, really, really, heady, important things like reading the traffic. Oh.
Hey, traffic's underrated. I loved traffic.
I like traffic too.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did that for a while, and then I had an opportunity at another radio station we were talking about earlier, and you know what I realized, Kevin? I realized I didn't really want to be on the radio.
Huh. What was the epiphany?
First of all, meeting an asshole who works on the radio.
There's
Many.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's many. I've met some really, really lovely people too.
There's some great
Right, but I unfortunately I met an inordinate number of not nice people.
Yeah.
The pay also really sucks, and I'm a woman of a certain age. My partner's retired, and I have to maintain a home that I own and cars, and I'm the only income in my family.
Right.
You know, and I thought, you know, for a younger person, what a great thing, you know, or if you don't have ties like that, what a great thing to pursue. But I can't go through the school of hard knocks anymore. I can't go, you know, I kind of wanted to skip to the head of the line, and that's not how the world works, you know, so it became unrealistic. I really got into video production. And actually, I've just recently gotten my own camera set and everything, and I really am going to pursue making short docs.
We should talk after.
Okay. And so I must have been an okay student, because the long and short of it is that I got hired at the school that I just graduated from.
Yes, you're the
program manager. At Van Arts Broadcasting and Online Media, which is fantastic. First of all, I'm working with people who are creative, and I really like them. And I knew I liked them, and apparently they knew they liked me. Second of all, I'm using my organizational skills from when I was a librarian, right? Mm-hmm. My performance skills from when I was a professional singer, and I can help other people, you know, find their voice. And I have the time to pursue my own creative endeavors, whether it be a podcast or a creative, you know, making docs or whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
So if we go to a moral of my story, this is what I would say. I have always believed that you can't learn to fly if you don't jump. Lots of people don't jump. They're either, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. There's lots of reasons. They've got too many responsibilities, or it's just not in them, or it's just too frightening. It's just not in their personality. I have been extremely blessed, and I want to tell you I'm grateful every day, that somehow I have landed on my feet with 3 major career jumps. So I was a professional singer and owned this company for almost 20 years. And I jumped out of that career and out of a marriage to a man and went to grad school and started something else I was interested in, library work, and fell in love with a woman and have built a wonderful life and relationship with her. Then I got tired of that, and I jumped out of a very good paying job, you know, really well paying, with benefits and a union and, you know, and pensions and all kind of stuff. But I was unhappy, and I chose to leap. And I landed on my feet again. And I don't know, I'd like to say a lot of that has to do with hard work and, you know, pure intention, but some of it is also blessing.
So what has been a couple of epiphanies you've learned through your jumps from music to library to being on the radio to I don't want to be on the radio anymore to teaching people how to be who they are? Like, what has been a couple of epiphanies you've discovered?
Well, first of all, I have to tell you that as a woman over 50, the word epiphany just brings to mind laughing too hard or sneezing suddenly. Thank you for getting that. Okay. Second of all, epiphanies. It is almost impossible to make that leap that I talk about without someone or a group of someones who are behind you. That's not, I admire people, and I'm sure they do, but I don't think it's something I could have done by myself. Another epiphany. I was not afraid to acknowledge that I have some mental health issues. I've addressed them with doctors, but I also am not going to so overdiagnose myself that I kind of smush who I am, right? And so if an artistic personality and me changing career every 20 or 11 years, which isn't that frequent these days.
No, people are doing it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes me hypomaniacal, or I don't know, whatever, you know.
Right.
Then you know what? I'm happy to be hypomaniacal because in the end I need to follow my heart, not my head. You know, as long as I'm not hurting myself, right? It's never been like that. But I had real bouts with depression and anxiety and, you know, stuff like that. But take your medication. That's always good. What other epiphanies? That love makes the world go round. That if everything you approach, you come from a loving place, things are easier, people are kinder to you. If you come at things with aggression, you get it back.
Yeah.
You know? And it's something I strive to do. I mean, I'm not perfect at all. But, you know, I think what I would tell anybody, if they were thinking of a career change, is that really take stock. Are you happy? Okay, and does that, and if you're not, are you unhappy because of your work or your personal life? Well, I can't advise on personal life stuff, you know. But if it's your work,
but it was interesting
really think,
that your partner said, "Who's Smitty? Where's Smitty?"
Where'd she go?
Yeah.
Well, that's just testament to someone who really knows
Yeah.
knows the ins and outs of you. You know.
Yeah.
You know. You did it, Kevin. You jumped. You leapt. Might be one of the reasons that I admire you too. It's a hard road to hoe.
Yeah.
You know,
It
and
is.
You know, and in the last year, I've doubted myself. I've thought I was too old. I've thought, how dare I have dreams at this age? And then, can I say bad words?
Of course you can.
And then the long of the short of it becomes, fuck them if they can't take a joke.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what's right for me.
Yeah.
Somehow I have to have faith that it'll all work out.
Yeah. The story of Peter reminds me of the story of Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, I don't know his story. I mean, I know who he is. But
I watched him on a Goalcast, and he said, "I am determined to be an actor. I made that decision, and I literally went hungry to do it because I wanted my next job to be an acting gig, and that's all I was going to do. I wasn't going to work at Shoppers. Now it's speaking to me. I wasn't going to work at whatever. I was going to be an actor because that's what I wanted to do." He made that his priority. And I know that people can't always do that, but...
Well, and I hope you're not beating yourself up for working at Shoppers, Kevin.
No.
Please don't. Because you're also an adult.
Yeah.
You know? And so, I mean, we have to balance those... You have to live.
Yeah.
And unless you're really comfortable in a box, you
Yeah.
got to pay your bills.
Yeah.
Right? I see you carving out the time to follow your dream. And I think that is absolutely nothing to sneeze about. It's another reason I admire you.
Well, thank you. But this is about you.
No, I know, but we're having a conversation.
Right.
And it's two-way, and I wouldn't be sitting here with you if I didn't like you. I'd say, hell no, Kevin, you work at Shoppers, and I will not deign to interview with you.
How dare you? Yeah.
No, but I mean, we have a similar, there's some similarities here in our leaping.
Yeah, I think so, too. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
What is it like being an adult going back to school?
Well, I went back to school when I was 40 to get my master's degree. And it was the most awesome 2 years of my life. It was a 2-year master's program. First of all, I wondered whether my gray cells would still fire in that way. And they did, and I did well, and I had a great time. So then I worked, now I come back to school and I'm 50, I guess I was 52 when I started the broadcasting program. And there were good things and bad things. The good things were I had a lot of real world experience, and so I knew how to apply myself and to concentrate. I was a little less patient with the energy of youth around me. You know, so people being silly and stuff, and I kind of felt like a crockety old bitch, right? But I also experienced ageism, and that was a mind blower because I don't think of myself as being old.
I don't either.
My body feels like I'm old, but I remember one. Actually did a podcast about this in my short-lived podcast dreams. I was sitting at the computers and people were getting really, really loud. And I just said, sorry, that's my phone. And I said, hey guys, could you hold it down? I can't even hear with my headphones on, you know? And somebody said, whoa, Smitty's acting her age.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You know, and I just got quiet and I just did my thing. Well, let me tell you what happens, what the other side of an interaction like that, and why you should be sensitive to that. Because I'm probably come off as a very confident, tough chick. I'm not a tough chick, but you know what I mean. I'm confident. I'm very comfortable with myself. I went home and I cried. You know, and I thought, I'm old. I'm not going to get it. I don't understand them. They don't understand me. I don't know how to act without being parental or, you know. And so maybe the lesson from that was just to chill. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, the ageism thing has reared its ugly head a number of times. But now I have, you know, given it a name. And I call people on it now. Yeah. But, you know, I find myself doing it all the time. You know those millennials, you know how they are.
Yeah. Oh, look who's here.
Yeah. How are we doing? Okay.
Yeah. What else do we... Yeah, I think, it was interesting because, I mean, you had a separate... Your class was one class. We were in two separate classes. And I felt fortunate that the youth in my class, the younger folk in my class, were very serious about what they do, and I think have shown. Wow, I'm going to say something mean here, but I'm just going to have to say it the way it is.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate that the group I worked with was serious about what they wanted to do, where I think maybe the other side of that group wasn't as serious, and maybe you're seeing the results of that.
Well, you know, I wonder, you know, they might be serious, but they're not very well aimed sometimes.
Yeah.
People, you know, and
that's something
not
I gotta
anyone
work on. Yeah.
You know, is that, wow, this is fun and this is fun and this is fun. But really, you got 1 year in this particular program. How are you going to aim it?
Yeah.
Where are you going to concentrate? Because you're not going to do all of those things.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people get into broadcasting training because they don't exactly know what they want to do. So if you come out the other end of it and you still don't know what you want to do, you weren't doing it right.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're still kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There should be some clarification happening in there somewhere.
Yeah, or you should at least kind of be open to other ideas, right?
Yeah.
You know, like it's not going to be the big city necessarily. I mean, there's opportunities for sure, but you got to work at it.
And just remember, though, that rejection happens all the time, especially in the arts, and that it's never about you.
Yeah.
It's always about them. It's like, we don't like the way your nose is situated on your face, you're not hired. You know, it just doesn't always have a logical reason, and it shouldn't hit your...
It does, though.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell everyone who don't know about Van Arts. Let's maybe talk about that.
Vancouver Institute of Media Arts. It's a art school in downtown Vancouver on Seymour and Dunsmuir, and there's and it's artistic types wandering the halls. Game arts, so people that design video games, interactive design, web development, animation, one of the top animation schools in North America. We have an acting program and the broadcasting program, which is headed by Martin Strong.
Yes, he's behind us now doing his thing.
Hello, Martin.
Hello, he can't hear us.
Oh,
because
we're in one of those soundproof
We're in a
things.
soundproof room.
And I loved the program, and I love being part of it now because I think when I'm talking about the broadcasting program and the name online media, is that broadcasting is so much more than radio and television.
Yeah.
And learning that is, I mean, we're really developing a very strong social media management aspect to it. The importance of video editing and audio editing. Even people who work at a radio station need to know how to video edit, you know, because they're doing live Facebook videos and stuff. I mean, the whole media landscape is just changing, and Van Arts is keeping right up.
Yeah.
You know. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really pretty cool place. And if you're listening and you're tempted, come visit.
Yeah.
Ask for Smitty. I'll give you a special tour.
Smitty will give us a tour. James is working at Roundhouse Radio right now, doing very well.
Leah's working for Bell Media. She's doing promotions.
Yeah. Oh, is she? Okay.
Yeah, and she was previously doing a social media management job.
Yeah, she's been doing very well. Alex Robinson is somewhere in hosting somewhere.
I don't know him.
Yeah, he's.
But yeah, he's got a show because I see his Facebook Live sometimes.
Yeah.
He does before his show.
Yeah. Who else? Mitch Milani is off to Ryerson. I do work with him. So he's continuing on his sports reporting dream. Who else?
Adam.
Yeah.
Adam Cordick's working for. Honestly, I just don't know. It used to be Shaw, now it's Global. Anyway, he's doing editing and he's working on a football show.
Yeah.
Which was his thing, right?
Yeah.
His sports thing.
Yeah.
June has started his own internet radio station.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And I think he calls it ADHD, so it's just like this mix of music or whatever.
Cool. And Justine was doing some.
Yeah, she got a gig hosting on a radio station in Weyburn, Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
She's gone back to farming for the time being.
But yeah, she'll be back.
Yeah.
She has enough talent to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're listening, Justine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have some success stories and. Yeah. Anything else we should talk about before you go back to your Saturday coffee? I mean, Chi-Chi? I mean.
Yes. Converse tennis shoes are the coolest thing in the world.
Okay.
Dogs are also the coolest thing in the world.
They are.
Yeah. And Diet Coke is a really cool thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks
How do we follow you? Can we follow you on Instagram? Or?
Oh, yeah. My website's www.smittyspeaks.com. You can hear little snippets of when I was a singer is on there and some demos and stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at Smit Speaks, SMIT Speaks. On Facebook, Smitty Speaks. On Instagram, Smitty Speaks.
So Smitty Speaks. Find Smitty Speaks or Smit Speaks and you're good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was today's Saturday Stories. We will have another one next week. Thanks for listening. Goodbye. Be better.